kill at least a few more Zenins. Take a few more to the grave with him. Hi, folks. How are you doing today? Good, hopefully. No tragedies, no terrible moments. Let's have a nice day, right? Let the rest of our days be happy and bright. Take a few more to the grave with him. But one of those men on the roofs was no mere marksman. He was a real sniper. I better check if I change that. Sniper. Rogue Sniper. That'd be a good title for a movie. I replaced Muzzler. Muzzler is the word for rifle, so I changed Sniper to Muzz Archer. Like that they're the successor of the Archer. You know. It's one of those little changes. I know Lord of the Rings didn't have fictional words for anything, but that's because it was supposed to be like a historical document translated in English. You wouldn't keep the old literal translations if you were doing something like that. Like, you would just call it a forest. You wouldn't call it the Leaf Sea or something like that. Since it is alt history, I can use alt words for stuff. He was a real sniper who put a bullet right through the back of Rabbit's head, and he pitched forward like someone had whacked him unconscious with a baseball bat. He felt life was pretty clear instantly that he was dead, where the blood bubbled from the big wound at the rear. There was no exit wound, for some reason. Perhaps the rifle was a lower caliber. It didn't sound like a lower caliber weapon. It sounded like it was the standard Zen 7.92 millimeter. Rabbit died with his eyes open and mouth closed. He also fell atop his rifle, which Bear heard a man once say, was the only way, proper way, for a Jade soldier to fall. Lay dead. Bear supposed there was no second shot. Bear and his comrades stared at the fresh corpse of their comrade. They all must have looked. Bear imagined he looked hypnotized because everyone around him looked so. The Zenins must have really wanted them to capture them. Bear and Co. Where there was no great trigger-happy follow-up to that sniper shot, like Bear expected. He thought everyone would just follow Rabbit, getting mowed down. Only instead of taking one clean bullet, one quick bullet, one bullet to the back, they took 100. And probably 100 to the front as well. They want us prisoners. Bear nodded and dropped his rifle. Put his hands up. Yeah, I gave up too. Wolf said grimly and tossed his rifle. Eagle stood there and dropped his weapon last, as though he wanted a moment. To have a few more. more seconds of freedom to his name. Eagle knew as well, Bear and Wolf, that this was the end of his life as a free man. He was going to die in some prison, one way or the other. Unless, maybe, the revolt will succeed, Eagle said, but only after dropping his rifle, and we'll be freed from ourselves, celebrate as heroes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with hoping for something like that, Wolf added, as unlikely as that is, Bear muttered. His tone is grim as his expression. The three men put their hands, almost put the three bears. The three men put their hands up, and some soldiers advanced on them. A squad of soldiers advanced on them. Meanwhile, soldiers advanced on them. The pacification of the securing of Mountain City continued elsewhere, all around them. Elsewhere. Incident at MRCF, Mountain City Research Facility, continued. Okay, gotta pause here so I can put the heading in. And we're back. Sergeant Dominic Green. Green was never fond of rope climbing, but he was at least competent at it, as were the other men who were on the rope. Dominic kind of wished that Arlen Richington, his cousin, was with them, but it was the smart move for him to stay behind. He was just too valuable of a hostage, and it was horrifying to think what the Jade could get Dominic to do. Dominic Green. Green is literally the translation of her last name, Vert. It's kind of a nice name. I kind of wish we just kept that instead of the word green. But Jade could get them if they had her husband as a captive. It was said that Dominique only loved two things. Only loved three things: the world, her husband, and her children. That she could lose everything else, and it wouldn't matter to her. Dominique had no idea that was true. It was one thing to say someone loved something, but Dominique wanted proof. Would have preferred, like, proof. There's one thing to say someone loves something, but Dominic would have liked proof. Like if a man liked chili dogs, the evidence would be that he ordered it every time he went to a restaurant. Or almost any time. As people could become tired of even their favorite foods. I know what you mean, Dominic. I love sushi, but maybe if I ate it every day for a week, I would get sick of it fast. Or not. I think I could eat at Moe's every week and not get sick of it. Or Taco Bell. Who knows? But you know, those places, crazy big menus, so you know, you can order different stuff every time. It's not like you're limited. It's not like the McDonald's from 1950 where you can just get a burger, a milkshake, or fries, and that's it. Now look at McDonald's menu. There's like 50 bajillion things on there. They got like 3 different chicken sandwiches and such. Burger King's got 3 different chicken sandwiches. They're also selling pulled pork and tacos now. I guess I like the taco. I wouldn't want to eat Burger King tacos every day. Let's see, every time. Even if it is only $1. Let's see, everything. Alright. Arlen's old friend, Roper Pale, the former SOE and current MI6 man, was probably a good stand-in. But he was much less of a demigod in appearance. He only had 2 arms. MI6. He only had 2 arms. He only had 2 arms. Like most men. And he looked like a bunch of guys that Dominique had fought alongside in the Great War, in the Jade War, and guys who ended up dead. There were 7 other guys. Yeah, there were 7 other guys. They ended up dead. Most of them weren't English. Weren't Chromish. Chromish like Roper. But maybe they had some Chromish blood in them. Who and Zeta didn't have Chromish blood. Even after that nasty plague. The plague wiped out many settlers. Those who survived still mingled with the Bloodkin settlers, those who came in mass. Dominic was pretty sure. Last names didn't matter much. Zeta. The guy has a Bloodkin last name. It's probably Chromish. Actually, mixed Megalinian. That's Italian in this universe. Megalinian. Italian. Celian. That's French. That's Chromish. Grandish. That's Irish. And maybe Tribalian. Bloodkin. Or Bloodkin. Probably should put Bloodkin first. Roper was quite silent on their trip through the halls. Also the big vent to the facility. To the big halls upstairs. To the upstairs vent access. Where they'd be climbing down. be climbing down to get to the mansion. Ground level. Worst comes to worst, we don't get back. And we, stay with the, Zetton boys outside. Or come to the rubble. They'll probably overtake us. Anyway. Yeah. Didn't think about that. That's an answer to that plot hole I came up with earlier. Like, why would they have to go back to the... How are they gonna get back into the facility after they, raise the alarm? Well, I guess they don't have to. Because they can just... Because once they blow the wall... I mean... The rock rubble... They can, get rescued by the, American soldiers, you know. Let's, yeah, that does need one of those semi-comas. Commas? Colons? What is it called? A colon and a semi-comma? I don't know. I learn new things about English every day. I feel almost like a foreigner studying it sometimes. If I can't figure out English after 30 years of using it, I don't know what the hell anybody else can do. Let's see. Fortunately, fiction's populated by people who have absolutely fluent knowledge of many different languages at the same time. Unlike in real life, because, you know, it's tough to learn multiple languages, especially when you're older. And down. Well, they'd be climbing down. Why is this energy drink making me on the ground level? I mean, you gotta expect him to be a gregarious Englishman type, telling them all stories. Is he Fortish? Telling them all these crazy stories. Stories about the good old days. Days with him in Ireland. Busting Bloodkin heads. Or jade heads, or whatever. Perhaps he was saving those stories for once the fight was over. Voyeur. Business now, pleasure later. Nobody was particularly talkative. But there was one guy. Well, was particularly talkative. Only one guy was talkative on the route. Talkative on the route. One of the 7 guys that Dominique didn't know. No. Private. One Trap, who was Private One Trap. He was pretty tan. He was pretty tanned, dark-haired, dark-eyed, and black-haired. He was... Dominique had seen him running around a lot. Running around a lot during the fighting. He was in the hangar. He stood out among the Pastier troops. On the Pastier troops. Among his fellow Pastier troops. Dominique assumed he was He was half Zetan. He was half South Zetan, Mexican, or part Tribalian. He didn't ask. Well, before we go up there, anyone else a little nervous? I don't know if any of you guys are atheists, but I'd appreciate if you prayed anyway. Trap said, because I have a feeling that we're gonna need all the help we can get. There are no. What value do the prayers of an atheist have? Actually, what value do the prayers of an atheist? Asked Trap, looking his way. But I mean, they gotta be worth less than whale spit. Are any of you atheists? Trap ass. I am, Roper admitted. I never really believed in the Almighty. The idea of God or Jubilee or the immaculate pregnancy of Mary. Merida. I see. I make it sounding vaguely uneased, like Roper had confessed to drowning cats or something. Something very very unseemly. Is that how you say unseemly? Damn it, don't quit jumping to the next page. You provoked me now, word. Yeah, there's a God. I don't believe so much in guardian angels. They all admitted. Why not? Trap asked. Well, asked him. Well, I guess it's because mostly silent. Stayed silent. Mostly. I guess because I saw this kid. Saw this little girl get hit by a bus. When I was younger. Hannah replied frankly. She was a very nice kid. And there was... She was a very nice kid and there was nobody. She was a very nice kid and didn't deserve that. So why was an angel looking out for her? Tragedies happen all the time. Trap replied. Trap had this look on his face. With that, like he wanted to say something important. Or maybe confess something. He didn't, though. Dominic assumed the thing eating at him wasn't that he was a mole. He was the mole. It was probably something else. Maybe something that was only a big to-do to him. They reach the vent then, the big vent then, and open it up. They'll reach the hallway, big vent in it. To get to the vent, one had to open open something of an airlock. Security had to open the big vent, the big shutter that fell down over said vent. It was not as thick as some big bank door, but a normal man, but bullets couldn't punch through it, and a man couldn't just bust it down or tear it open, bust it down to brute strength. Security opened up the vent, opened up that door. It slid open. It slid up into the wall above, in a way that Dominique thought was pretty cool. It took longer to open than to close. When it closed, it just fell down, right down, hard, and then some mechanism, it touched some mechanism in the floor that locked it in place. The vent behind the door was a typical, looked like any vent someone would see in a wall, but it was much larger. The vent had a hinge, window-like hinges. Along with latches. Two guys undid the latches, and then undid the hinges. And opened it. The vent. And open the vent outwardly. The only way it would go. Beyond the vent was a rather large but narrow concrete ledge. Below it was a long, 20-meter drop to the ground level of the facility, to the courtyard, currently patrolled by many soldiers, many Jade terrorists. Dominique was the first guy who went out on said ledge, feeling the air play with him, to his unhappiness. He surveyed the terrorists below. It was like they had somehow replenished their numbers. Seemed to be more than there were before. How could there be so many down there? He thought they should have been much more depleted. It was like they got reinforcements somehow. But Dominique was pretty sure there was no way for that to happen. They were cut off from the outside world. Dominique was cautious out there on the ledge, keeping low, a large 2-meter wide, 5-meter long, 2-meter wide concrete ledge. Keep him low. You didn't want to fall victim to some sniper. Dominique found some air unit that was very solidly tethered to the concrete ground, the concrete floor of the ledge. They would use that as the anchor for their rope, which was 25 meters in length, and made of, and in one piece, long piece, thankfully. It wasn't made up of 2 or 3 smaller ropes that could theoretically come undone. And the rope was made of hardy material. It would only break, it only tear and break if it set on fire for a minute or so. Okay, folks, 31 minutes in. See you later. Have a nice day.